So it's amazing, like the auditory that I get from that, and just sort of like we're talking about weather patterns, and this is you sent that picture, and it sort of stuck in my mind of the storm rolling over New York City. I can hear it. How you doing? My name's Caleb Booker, and this is your free psychic reading. You wanted to know if anything was going to happen to you in this next year. So let me take a look and see what's going on, because I don't, in the moment, have a clue. I'm going to pull cards for you. This is one of the rare times. I've done a bunch of these today, and this is one of the first times, actually, that I don't have an impression, an initial impression. I'm just maybe overwhelmed with the imagery. There's you looking ahead. There's you seeing a galaxy of possibilities, the World card. Waiting for fate to take a hand. This is an amazing start to our reading here. Right away, these three in a row. I was just thinking earlier today how I haven't seen much Major Arcana. Oh, Major Arcana are non-numbered cards. Big galactic energies. How it work. What's interesting, though, about this is that they're prefaced with this Three of Wands, this notion of scoping ahead. And it feels very much like this is sort of what we've been discussing, which is you looking ahead into the great beyond and seeing what fate has in store. This just feels like a premise rather than a prophecy. This is the perspective that we approach this with, rather than any kind of notion of what's coming up. As far as what's coming up, I see good times with friends. I see some attempts and failures, but we'll get into what that really means. Opportunities to gain strength through vulnerability. Okay, the easiest one is times with friends. This is non-trivial. Using the next year to spend time with friends and to really value them as people and to value them as friends, value the friendship itself. That's it. That's what I was trying to spit out. Valuing the friendship itself is key in the coming year, and it's non-trivial. It has knock-on effects for the rest of your life. Stupid little things like watching YouTube videos with friends. The stuff counts. Playing games with friends, that stuff counts. Because it lays a comforting foundation for rough times ahead, for all concerned, for not just you but everyone. So non-trivial. This is very good, important stuff, and that is a major focus for the next year, is to spend more time with your existing friends. And I know you think of your friends and you think, like, why aren't they cooler? Why aren't we doing cooler shit? But this, just work with what you got, because this is important. Send them love, man. Send them love constantly, and appreciate them, and appreciate the friendship for what it's doing for both of you. So there's that. Then there's the lost thing. There's going to be a few attempts at things over the next year. You're going to be experimenting with different things that don't necessarily work out. This next year's major not physical, so that its major intellectual and emotional pursuits will be just trying different things and seeing what sticks, and really nothing will. But the point is that you've got to do the work. You got to cross this stuff off the list as just, okay, I've looked into that, my curiosity is sated. I've looked into that, I'm not curious about that anymore. And just getting your curiosity settled on a bunch of things. So there's a lot of like stuff that could be amazing and that people talk a big game about. And so you look into it, you try it out, and no. But had you never done it, you'd have always wondered. It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile. And then the last thing, vulnerability, strength through vulnerability. So it's the notion of owning these moments, of saying, I looked into this, and I looked into it for the stupidest and lamest of reasons, and I'm owning that because I'm a lame ass. And you know what? I looked, it totally didn't work. I don't know, you could have told me. Yeah, you could have told me it wouldn't have worked. But I had to see for myself. So there it is. The point of my illustration there is just to say that you're going to open yourself up to criticism and then just say, yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. And in that moment, become less capable of being harmed by the criticism of others. So by opening yourself up to criticism, you become less capable of being hurt by criticism. But here's the thing, you're called to do this. You don't have to do this. You can stay weak if you want. You can worry about what other people think of you, not really communicate very well, what your real motivations were for doing what you're doing, even after the fact. Like you do something and you think it's for this reason, but then 6 months later you look back and you think, the real reason I wanted that was because I wanted to be superpowered, or just, whatever. So the point is to become more authentic and more honest. That's where strength comes from, which came up in a previous reading, actually, ironically. But for you, very specifically, the point is to build a thicker skin so that you can do things other people would consider impossible. This is a building year, and this is a research year. You got to experiment and try things out. So that's what's coming in the next year. That's your next year for sure. So, no hand of fate reaching down and grasping at your face, nothing like that. Nothing like that. But it is an important year, and one that will actually shape who you become as a human being. So very, very important that you engage in these things with everything you've got. Do not restrain yourself with your friendships. Do not restrain yourself with the things you pursue passionately. Do not restrain yourself at all with how you feel and expressing that emotion as nakedly and as raw as you can, because that's the kind of person you're going to build yourself into becoming. That covers it. All right. Have a good one.